Hi everyone, pleasure to be here. So I'm Eytan, I'm one of the co-founder of Nilos. I'm going to talk about some boring stuff today. So how to handle basically cryptocurrencies as revenue when you're a business. And so we are creating a basically new standard for managing cryptocurrencies. But before we go into diving how to handle those issues, I want to take you back to a retrospective a little bit. And basically when we started, I started investing in cryptocurrencies 2016, 2017. At the beginning, everyone was only talking about like investing into shitcoins, doing some decentralized finance applications. And so we seen the emergence of companies like MetaMask, Uniswap, Aave, Compound. And the main objective was for those people to how do we replicate the traditional finance ecosystem directly into the blockchain, trying to make things more efficient, trying to actually bridging the gap without the traditional banking system. And so it was really, really hard to actually on board the mainstream and have the mainstream adoption that we wanted with the blockchain. And along the years, so we started investing, and in 2021 we had like a big breakout actually with Beeple already selling its NFTs for 69 millions. Most of you guys, I think, already heard about this. But what NFTs what NFTs did at the time is that it broke completely, it bridges culture to crypto. So what was really difficult to implement at the beginning, because it was only for educate people on finance, now it was really accessible because we were talking about culture directly to the mainstream people. And so the reason actually NFTs speak to everyone is that NFTs is about brands. So the way I like to frame it is like NFTs create brands and brands create NFTs in return. And so if we think about the Bored API Club, they actually created a brand in 1.5 years, like a $5 billion brand, really fast. And afterwards, they decided to shape all their values into products, doing memberships, doing ticketing events. And so they're creating this whole movement. And I think like that's also why you guys are here, getting interesting about NFTs. Then we had Nike getting interesting into Artifact. And so all those brands, they started experimenting with NFTs, and that's what got most of the people interested about this space. And so when we have new companies getting into the space, we have also traditional people that have new ideas. And so we have people creating new businesses and especially new products and having revenues in crypto. And when you have like revenues in crypto for traditional companies, you get actual problems that you need to handle, new problems that weren't existing before. And let me enumerate some of them. So the first problem that you have when you're a traditional company or when you're a new business owner and you want to handle cryptocurrencies directly, you have a security problem. How do I store those assets really efficiently? Who has access to those cryptocurrencies? How do you deal with them? If I want to give access to my CFO to make a payment, how do I do that? Do I store it in a ledger? Do I store it in a MetaMask? Most of the people today, they have a financial ecosystem that is really hard to handle, at least for a business. And so the first question is always about security of those aspects. The second question most of the businesses ask, it's about transparency. So how do I know that my funds are coming from safe places? So we're talking a lot about anti-money laundering. So we do what we call know your transactions processes. And so the question for big businesses, if you think about Nike or Adidas, Nike is making 200 million revenues from its NFT collections buying Artifact. Adidas is making like 10 million in revenues, 10 from the secondary market with this into the metaverse. So they need to be able to understand who buys those assets and how to counter them in terms of money laundering if they want to actually move out the money to their bank account. Which leads to my third problem, which is the banking rails. Currently, it's very difficult for companies to have efficient banking rails that makes the connection between the crypto ecosystem and the traditional banking system. So the ability to what we call off-ramping, the ability to move the money from one ramp to the other, from the crypto world to the fiat world, today it's very difficult to have those two things being linked. And so the two main problems with the banking rails is first, how do I work with a bank account that actually work with crypto companies? Like maybe you heard about friends that build crypto companies that have really trouble to get banked. Like that's the first real problem that we can think about. And the second aspect is even if I have a bank, how do I make sure that they accept the revenues that I'm making in crypto? So I need to convert them, and then when I receive the money, the bank the most important question for the bank is, what is the source of the incomes? That's the third problem that actually these new initiatives laid out. And the fourth one is maybe the most understandable one, is like the accounting system. Since crypto it's both revenues and assets, you have the problem of accounting those assets. You have the problem of calculating capital tax gains. And so it's very difficult to integrate that into traditional financial accounting systems. And so what we decide to build with Nilos is basically a fully integrated financial platform that allows businesses to operate with crypto, just like they would operate with fiat. So the objective for us is to build a system. I'm sorry for the slides. Maybe get up with the Google slide. But so what we provide with Nilos is a bunch of features that allows you to both custody assets in the most simple way. So you can build custodial wallets across multiple chains, and then you have the ability to give rights to those custodial wallets, who owns them, who have the right to sign on those wallets, who has the right to make payments. Then the second aspect of the product is the ability to make payments really easily. So you can, from one account to the other, make a really efficient, complex payment operation. You can, for instance, make one transaction from your crypto wallet to a bank account. You can make multiple transactions to a bank account. You can then label those transactions as they come into those wallets. So you have the ability to understand what is the source of the funds, and also to understand the financial sources of all those funds. So it also solves the problem of both accounting and reporting for the financial institutions. Like, the objective for us is really to make sure that people treat cryptos just like any other type of currency. So the problem today is that we have those both words, and they are really distinct in the way we treat them. And so with Nilos, the objective for us is really to make sure that when you open a new company, or where you're a traditional company entering the market, you would deal with cryptocurrencies and other currencies just like you would deal with foreign exchanges. So treating dollars and euros should be exactly the same as treating crypto and fiat. And so that's the thing that we're trying to bridge here with Nilos. On the left, what you see is currently how people operate in the crypto ecosystem. So you have multiple wallets, multiple bank accounts. You're working with spreadsheets. You're working with Etherscan. It's really difficult to understand what you do and what is the source of the incomes. And so what we're creating on the right, it's like a unified financial dashboard that allows you to just make sense of everything. So it gives you both visibility and also like the confidence to be able to operate in the crypto ecosystem really easily. Then when we talk about like the banking system, usually that's how people operate. So they have like multiple layers. We can enumerate Gnosis, Ledger, MetaMask, and then they have extra layers of tools to be able to make sense of the revenues and to get out those money. So we have an exchange like Kraken to be able to get out the money directly from the wallets to the exchange, swap it. Then they use usually crypto-friendly banks that are shady banks. We don't know usually how they operate. And then from those crypto-friendly banks, they use traditional banks to be able to make payments directly to people. And so we decided to integrate everything into one financial platform. The question is basically who needs this? So I mentioned that traditional companies are directly integrating into the crypto sphere more and more since 2021, obviously because of NFTs. And so we have different type of companies that need a solution like Nilos. We have decentralized application and DAOs. So you can think about NFT marketplaces, DeFi applications, play and earn games. We have that first layer of customers. They all operate mostly in crypto, so they have at least 90% of the revenues that are coming into crypto, and they need also a way to be able to exchange that into fiat really easily. Then we have all the service businesses that operate on top of the first layer of businesses. So they work with those Web3 native companies, and so they get paid partially in crypto from those Web2 companies. So you think about NFT Paris. NFT Paris is one of our clients. So they get paid from actual decentralized application to be able to operate for the events. And they need like an efficient solution, a real business account to be able to operate really easily. And then the third layer, it's the one that is experimenting today with all those initiatives, are the Web2 brands. So the Web2 brands, they're creating new products like NFTs, and so they need an efficient solution to be able to handle that. Finally, like how do we make this work? Really easy. Like you can create an account. We do a KYB directly on the platform. You can create new custodial wallets on multiple chains, like Polygon, Ethereum, most of the chains, we can cover them, and it allows you to enter the market really easily with confidence. Then you have the ability to also generate IBANs for all the fiat operations, so you can also cash in crypto in fiat. And then you just have to receive those payments, easily track them, label them directly on the platform, and then pay all your employees in seconds. Most of the use cases are paying contractors and businesses directly from your crypto treasury to bank accounts. And so we operate in almost 100 jurisdictions, and that's basically what our client wants. Thanks a lot for listening to me, and have a good day.